Well, we're back.
Yay!
With more Proverbs 31 woman.
Yes, that's right.
Good to be here.
And I know that you guys are chomping at the bit to figure out what we were trying to say last time. Sometimes we have thoughts and it just like pops out of our brain. And I know, especially more recently with pregnancy brain, my brain's really been doing it. But we have a connection with words and certain words, and but we researched with that idiom, that saying. It was like, I think you kind of like mix together idioms, and,
yes.
And it's like, okay, what does it mean? Wait, which one am I talking about?
And there was no way, no how we could make that different than it really was.
Yeah, and so I mean, there is one by Benjamin Franklin, but it wasn't quite what we were thinking.
It's not where we wanted to go.
Yeah.
But what was it, Cheryl?
An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Okay.
But my thought was more about being prepared gives you confidence.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah, I was about to say, yeah.
Isn't that the Girl Scout? Is that the Girl Scout or the Boy Scout motto about being prepared or something?
Here we
like
go
that?
again.
So we're not going there.
No,
but anyway, we're going to get started on our
the
verses.
The important part
Proverbs
is
31.
just be prepared. Don't worry about things. Don't worry about tomorrow, like the Bible says. But we should be prepared.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen.
If we're prepared, we won't worry, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So verse 19, right? That's where we start.
Yes.
And we have gone from her being able to keep her lamp on all night long to extending her hands to the spinning staff and her hands hold the spindle.
Yep.
So there we go. She's still working. She's still at it.
Yeah. It kind of goes back to the willing hands to work, and she's not afraid to get in there and get dirty, Not necessarily, but
Yeah, I don't know if you get dirty at the spindle, but she's willing to get dirty, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the word resourceful comes to mind. So she takes the resources that she has, because if you think about the time that she lived in, she had sheep.
Yeah.
So
true.
So you take what you have and you make what you can from what you have.
Yeah.
And don't waste what you gather, right?
Yeah.
And what you need. She had her needs met.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But maybe even more, because we can read on down, and she's able to provide more, I think.
Yeah.
So what's the next verse there? You want to read that one?
20.
Yeah.
She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reaches forth her hands to the needy.
Yeah.
So that, I think, goes back to her being a generous person.
Yeah.
And I think she's a good picture of Jesus, our Savior, as well.
Yes.
And how he meets our needs, and he reaches out to the poor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And I'm kind of hearkening back to the last one, our last talk at the the first half of this Proverbs 31 woman, talking about we are images of God. And so, this is literally just telling us, okay, as a woman, these are these things. We're supposed to be hardworking. We're supposed to be generous. And that is what God and Jesus exemplified here on earth in his human form.
That's right. He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so reaching out to the poor and the needy, that's just part of what we've been required to do, I think.
Yeah.
It should be part of
our
every one of
commandment.
our lives. It's to take care of those that are in need, right?
Right.
So then she's not afraid for her household when it snows. So evidently it snows where she's at.
So I had looked this up.
Okay,
and
good.
it wasn't necessarily that it snowed.
Okay.
It was another preparation thing. Like she's prepared for anything. So if it happened to snow where they're at in the desert,
or a hurricane where we might be.
Yes, exactly. Or wherever you might be listening from, whatever disaster can befall upon you at any moment.
Yeah.
Like you are prepared. And again, you aren't worried about it because you're prepared.
Yeah.
And that for all her household are clothed in scarlet for me.
Oh, yours says
What is
scarlet.
yours say?
Mine says scarlet as well.
Yes.
Really? Mine said doubly clothed.
Yes. So
Is that
I have
another
a
way?
footnote.
You have a footnote. Okay.
Yep. I have the footnote of the double thickness.
Oh.
So basically, if they are cold, you wrap them up as best as you can. For some reason, scarlet is
Maybe a heavier material, scarlet. Maybe?
I can't quite remember what I was looking at with that. But yeah, like they use, even though that's a color normally, it is equated with double thickness.
Double thickness. I was going to say, maybe it's easy to use the scarlet material. You know, the type of material they're using.
Yeah.
You know, is
more
heavier.
insulation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely, I think, the most interesting verse for research purposes and trying to figure it out.
And so she then makes her own bed coverings.
Yeah. Oh, can I say one thing?
Yes, go
that
ahead.
Just popped
Go
into
back.
my brain.
Go back.
She's not afraid of snow. So she's not afraid of,
what's
the
coming.
unknown or what's coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's kind of...
Wow. Shouldn't we all take a lesson from that?
Yeah.
Yes, please. I try, it's...
That's a hard one for
Yeah.
all of us.
But that's the amazing thing is God is the God of the unknown. He knows everything.
He does.
So we don't have to be afraid. But...
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
But yeah, so continuing on.
Okay. And then the bed coverings. And then her clothing is fine linen in purple. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So fine linen.
And purple, it's a color of royalty.
It is
Yes,
royalty.
yes,
Yeah.
royalty.
I was thinking majestic too.
Yes.
That's another word.
Yeah.
It's associated with royal, wealth, and even modesty in 1 Peter 3, 3 through 4. Purple is associated with modesty.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Which obviously when we think of like royalty and wealth, we don't always think of modesty. But they can go hand in hand when you aren't just like having wealth just for wealth's sake, but what are you doing with your wealth?
Well, and two, if you research, and it's been a long time, so I'm going to try to remember, but that the purple you get from these little teeny,
Yes.
like
like
things you
shells
find,
or-
shells that you find in the water, and so it takes a lot of them
Yes.
to get that color.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they do. I can't remember if they do. Is it when they die or when they? I don't know what causes the dye to come out of them.
Fear.
Yeah,
Is
I
it
can't
fear?
Is it? That would be. Oh man.
Oh, we got to look that up because I did look
Yes,
it
we
up
do.
a long time ago. But yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Yeah.
But it is like little things that they find in the water.
And they squirt out the ink.
I
right?
guess
Yes.
something.
Yeah.
We're gonna find that out. So guess what? That'll be next time too. We didn't think. See, that's what happens when you have three women together. We just all are thinking about different things, and all of a sudden it all pops together.
You might not want me back next time.
No.
Oh, always, always, always. So, and this is the part where we were gonna start this week, but we kind of wanted to catch some verses up above. We talked a lot last time.
Yeah.
But this
we did.
starts where talking about her husband. Her husband is known at the city gates, where he sits among the elders of the land. And I think that's where we show our respect.
Yes. For
Because if you talk down about your husband, there's no people in the community will start making fun of him too.
Right.
Oh
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
Or not respecting him.
Or not respect him. They may not get
trusting him.
Yes.
That's right. They don't get to attain that city gate
Right.
seat.
Yeah, I think it's hard because sometimes we have feelings and we act on our feelings of like, oh yeah, I just want to say this about my husband, and then it's when you actually think about it, it's like, okay, well, it's not fully true, but then somebody hears it and runs with it.
Well, you might be kind of irritated at that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, none of us are perfect. I don't think this is not the perfect husband, I'm sure, but she shows him that he is
worthy of respect.
worthy of respect.
Yeah.
And two, I think if you speak ill of your husband in public or in front of your friends, and I can turn around and forgive my husband,
That's right.
but my girlfriend might hold it
Yes.
against him. She
Yes.
might not be able to forgive him as quickly as I can.
Right,
Yeah.
because then that's all
She'll think about
That
it.
you
She'll
know
hold
about.
on to that. Yeah.
Yeah.
She'll hold on.
you get to
told-
go home and have a new experience with your husband
That's
that
right.
completely flips it around.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always told my daughter-in-law that she could, if she was aggravated with my son, her husband, that she could share that with me. But if she shared it with her sisters or shared it with her mother, they're going to remember it. They're not going to let it go. And I think she pretty much has done that over the years, but now I found out the other day we started talking about it, and she's had him longer than I had him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I don't know that she has to share any of that with me, but she's always I'm always available to hear, because there's times when you just need to vent.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad way, but
no, but when and that's why it is important to have a good. I mean, not everyone gets to have
sounding board.
Yeah, not everyone gets to have that, and especially for her mother-in-law and daughter-in-law, that mother has raised that kid, knows him in and out.
I love that man. Yeah, I'm gonna love that man no matter what.
You know all the ins and outs.
That's
and the,
right.
And you can understand that though he may be obstinate at times, but he's really a good man.
He's a good man. That's right. And somebody else. And then if it's somebody that's like, well, did you hear?
Right.
You know how sisters are. They're gonna take up for their sisters.
Well, for myself, I used to work with my husband, so we had to keep a very strict relationship in the workplace. So because if I showed any disrespect to him in front of employees, then the employees don't take him seriously.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's equated to in the gates in public.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, even with Jordan, with my husband, like in youth, if I wasn't respecting his authority or like trying to do something without, without consulting with him or anything like that, it would show, and the youth would be like, "Oh, well, I don't need to
listen to
respect
him."
him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's talking
His own
down
wife
to
doesn't.
him.
Yeah. His own wife doesn't. So
Exactly. So I mean, there is that learning curve
Yes.
of okay, some things stay at home. And
that's right.
You resolve it and you leave it there.
You leave it there and you go behind closed doors if you need to, but you don't share it in public.
Well, needless to say, we don't work together anymore. So.
Okay. All right. So now we've got to be respectful to our husbands.
Yes.
And I think there's another she, and she makes and sells linen garments. She delivers belts to the merchants. So, she's very, I think you used this word earlier, Cheryl, resourceful.
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, she has a little business at that point, too. Like, she is, like you said, resourceful. And so she's probably, getting her own resources, making these things, handing them and getting the money for them, and then turning around, putting the money into their own storehouses as well as the poor and the needy. There's, like, this whole process that is just so, I guess, intricate that she continues on with.
And I think too, like if you equated that to like today and in a marriage or a relationship, when you have a 2-income household,
and how many people don't have a 2-income?
Exactly. It's and you're working together for the same cause to provide for your family, and it alleviates the stress off of one than the other.
Yes.
So I think just working together as a couple and
Yeah, I think being transparent and being willing to, okay, this is what we need to be able to do in this time frame for this moment, and working together to, like you said, provide.
Yeah. So this next one, strength and honor are her clothing. That's very easy, right?
Yeah.
And she can laugh at the time to come.
Yeah.
Okay, so where do we go with that verse?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's definitely one of the most quoted parts of Proverbs 31. And I think it goes back to girding yourself with strength and
having God on your side.
I was going to say that I go to verse 30 because she's a woman who fears the Lord. So when you fear the Lord, you conduct yourself in a different manner than somebody who doesn't.
Yes.
Yeah, and then and she laughs at the time to come, like talking about if she's not afraid of snow for her household, like she just
She's not afraid of the future either, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is that what you would
Yeah.
say?
I think you live more lighthearted.
Yes.
I like
Yeah,
that.
Lighthearted.
Yeah, lighthearted. Yeah.
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 I mean, and that's.
And you're not fretting
all
over
you
what's
can
coming.
do.
Yes.
You're just laughing at it. You're lighthearted about it. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
the thing about being worried and being anxious about the future is like, well, it could all work out and you're anxious for nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or if you had to be anxious in the moment, then you're doubly anxious.
I think there's a
Yes.
You know?
statistic that actually says that 90%, or it might even be 95% of what we worry about, the what ifs, never happen.
happen.
Yeah.
Never
I
happen.
know. I think I was a kid that was one of those what ifs. I just think, okay, we're on the school bus and I get home. What if there's a snake when I step off off the bus?
Yes.
I don't know why I
Yeah.
did that, but I did that as a kid. I don't think I do it as much. I don't do it like a what if. It's more like I try to solve it before it even happens.
Yes.
Does anybody else do
Yes.
that?
Yes.
Yeah, and so we need to take a little lesson from her.
That's right.
Yeah, she's got some lessons in here for us.
For sure.
Yeah.
She, her mouth speaks wisdom, and loving instruction is on her tongue.
Yes. Yeah. I was thinking about it earlier with how she respects her husband, doesn't slander him. She has control of her tongue.
Yeah,
That we get to see James reference. Knows the smallest
The bridle
member
and
of our
bit.
body.
Yes, the bridle and bit.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. So even down to what she says is just oozing out with wisdom and kindness.
loving instruction.
Yes.
So,
Instruction,
how many times have we said things, just
Yes.
like
Snappy.
that, and that would not be the way she did it. She did it.
Yeah.
I had a teacher that I was under for a period of time, and when I was in college, and she would talk just like this, and she would never change her tone. So and so can come see, come see Miss Cool, please. And then she would talk to him. And what was he doing? And he was supposed to be doing this. And now go back to your seat and do as I ask. And I was like, how does she do that? Because that is not, I tried very hard to do that person. And I had an aunt that would, one time I remember watching her with just like, she was talking to my son. And she talks very slow and not slow, but she talks very
Deliberate.
slow.
Yes, that was the word I was
Yeah.
deliberate.
And she would talk, very, low and this, and he was just standing there listening to her, And I thought, boy, I wish I had that. But I was just one of those that was loud and, didn't always use that inside voice. That's what I always told kids. Inside voice.
Yeah.
So,
It's
so
not
I
always
think
easy.
she was probably very much...
Well, if you think about it, if somebody speaks in a soft tone, you have to quiet yourself to understand and hear what they're saying.
yes.
And that's why God's voice is a still, small voice.
Oh, yeah.
For us
Yep.
to sit still, be
And listen
quiet,
and
and
hear.
listen.
Good job. Yep. So true. So true. And then she talks about she watches over the activities of her house. See, household.
Yep.
So absolutely we can tell because we don't watch over our activities of our household because there's nothing going on if we're not doing it, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's you doing it.
And is never idle. So she may not be doing what the household is doing, but she's doing something.
Yeah.
You know,
She's
I
not
think-
just sitting waiting hand and
Waiting
foot.
hand and foot for
Yeah.
somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
If those old movies back in the, I don't know, Pride and Prejudice was one of those movies. I can't believe it just came out of my mouth so easily, but I love that movie. But it is, they would be sitting in the parlor,
Yes.
doing something. So
Yeah.
it's the same kind of thing.
Yes.
I think of her. She's doing the wool.
Yes.
She's,
Yeah, doing
making
something
She's
productive.
making the outfits.
Yeah.
She's doing all that
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah.
So never idle. And sometimes people tell you all the time, oh, you're too busy, slow down. And I know, I get it, I understand. But you should not be
Yes, that's
over, busy.
Over.
But
Yeah.
you should, I'm I'm usually not idle.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
There's
So
there's
we have
a
to have a
difference.
balance, I guess.
Yeah, there's
Yes.
a difference between idleness and rest.
Yes.
Because even in
Okay.
rest, like if we're resting in God, we're supposed to be thinking of Him, maybe studying His Word, you know, like it's still productive to our spiritual walk.
Right.
But the rest of the world just quiets down for a little bit, and we
Yes.
can rest. So idleness would be that I'm just filling a hole where God should be, kind of like
yeah.
I'm just gonna like laze around and not do anything
Right.
at all.
Yeah. Yeah, that's hard for me.
Yeah, but
it's
there are
good.
times where
need
you
time
have
do
to
it.
take
Yes. Yes.
you have to take a breath. You
Yes.
have to sit down.
Yes.
You have to, because otherwise you do get frazzled. You get
Yes.
overworked.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
is.
as long as you're resting to that purpose of, okay, I need to get refilled,
Mm-hmm.
and now I'm good,
Yeah.
and move on.
Yeah. So we get to the part where if she's all of this,
Yeah.
because of this, you now have this, right?
Yeah.
Or because of this, you have that.
Yep.
I don't know how that goes. There's a
Yeah.
there's one of those. It's a cause and effect, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Cause and effect. So because of the way she is,
Yep.
somebody else can read that verse.
Yeah. So 28. Her children rise up and call her blessed. Her husband also, and he praises her. And many women have done excellently, but you surpass them all. So that was the husband speaking in that, and.
Yep, and that's the. I think we've heard that one a million times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Definitely heard that part
you're going
too.
to be called blessed by your children. Well, I
Yeah.
only
Yes.
have one kid, so I'm in trouble.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think something too that is that we can get from this part, and honestly the other part, but you don't boast in yourself.
Yes.
no, there's a verse
There's
on that.
yes,
Yes.
and that is
Oh, good,
I
you
had
got it. Do you have it?
It's also in Proverbs 27:2. Let another praise you and not your own mouth.
Yep.
That's good.
And then I think there's another one of don't boast of your own, but boast
Yeah.
in the Lord.
Yes.
Yep. I didn't
we
look
are
that up. I should have.
saved by works so that no man can boast.
That's right.
But for boasting about others,
Yep.
it's so much more meaningful when it comes from other people, because we get stuck in our own heads.
Yeah.
And we think, oh man, I could have done this better. Oh man, that didn't go well. But then when you can sit and fellowship with other women, with your church, you hear these things and it's like they were touched by this random thing you said after you might have been not fully like, you were like, okay, whatever, rushing from here or there, and you thought it was like, wow, why did I say that? But it was actually something that God was using you to say.
Yeah. Or
But-
sometimes, Jen, you'll sing a song, and it totally touches my heart, and
Yeah.
it just really encourages me. I'm sure it encourages many, and you maybe sometimes you don't see yourself like that.
Yep.
So.
There are many times that you walk off from whatever you were doing, and you're like, man, that was rough.
I heard that
And
note.
yes, exactly. And I have definitely prepared myself more for that and been like, okay, God, whatever comes out of my mouth, as long as it's glorifying to you,
Yes.
I
That's
don't
right.
care.
That's right. Amen.
I
like
know.
it's hard.
You can
but
beat yourself up.
yes,
And
we are our own
especially
worst
if you
critics.
if you have a negative in your head because of something you've done,
Yeah.
it takes a lot of positives
Yes.
to get that negative
Yes.
out.
It
you know?
really does. The negative is unfortunately very, very much more impactful than
It
the
is. It
positive.
sticks longer, doesn't it?
Yeah.
I'm
But-
going to read Ephesians 2:8-9.
Oh, okay.
Because
Yes.
I think one of the things that we're taking from this is that she loves the Lord. She
Yes.
fears the Lord. So she believes in the Lord, right?
Yeah.
And so we know that Christ, came from the Lord, and he, from God, and he provided a way for us. So for you are saved by grace through faith. This is not from yourselves. It is God's gift, not from works, so that no one can boast.
Yeah.
And then for we are his workmanship, created in Christ Jesus for good works, which God prepared ahead of time for us to do.
Yeah.
So, we always want to somehow bring about the fact that God. I mean, belief. We have to remember,
yeah.
we don't want to forget our opportunity. And that just, to me, kind of stepped in and gave us an opportunity to talk about our relationship
How important
with God
that is.
through Christ.
Right.
Yeah.
And we can't do anything.
That's right.
Yeah.
We can't do anything. We're not able to make that happen. Only He could make that happen.
Yeah, I mean, we can sit here, study Proverbs 31 woman all day, and like we said, like we aren't ever going to be her all of the time, at any time.
It's a lifetime.
Yes,
event.
it is.
Yeah.
Which is why we can't boast in ourselves. We can't focus on. We can't save ourselves.
That's right.
Yeah,
we do our
can't.
best. We can't. We can't just sit idly by. We still do our best to be what God has commanded us to be, and give ourselves grace in that. But we can't boast that, it's all me doing everything. But like this Proverbs 31 woman is relying on the wisdom of God.
That's right.
And we can't do it without Him.
No, we
right.
can't.
We can't hold our tongues. We can't.
Yes.
We can't.
No.
We can't have the energy level that we need. We don't have the strength. We don't have any of that without Him. And of course, the next one is. I think this is the word I thought about. Our next verses is like you've heard people say something about arm candy.
Yes.
Is that the right
yes.
word?
Or
Is that
yes,
an old
like
fashioned
trophy
word?
wife.
Trophy
kind of.
wife.
Yeah,
Yes,
trophy
arm
wife,
candy,
arm candy, and that's what I thought of with this, and that was kind of terrible. That was kind of a bad way to look at it, but charm is deceptive and beauty is fleeting, and that means it's temporal.
Yes.
And it's on the outside.
Yes.
And I can't say that I don't try to, put on a little makeup, do something to your hair. You want to wear some, you want to look nice, right?
Yeah,
right.
take care of yourself, but don't let it.
But I mean, it's going away, girls.
It is.
And I mean, the older we get, what was it? Somebody said there was something about, all you gotta do is as you look in the mirror, you can see the aging process. And we are gonna get older. We just have to take it gracefully, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I am not gonna be one of those girls that gets injections and surgery. I remember when I worked somewhere, I won't say where, but an older lady, very hardworking, very wisdom. She knew what she was doing, but she was older.
Yeah.
And she looked older. And she had a facelift.
Yeah.
And because she felt like it was important for her to do that, because she didn't want to lose her effectiveness in the workforce as a director.
Yeah.
And then look older.
And then that's the world standard.
I was
That's
just
the
going to
world
say that
standards,
that's the
isn't
world.
it?
That's what the world does to us. The world gives us the standards that we need to look this way and weigh this weight and do this and
I know.
do that. And
I know.
but that's not what
And
God says.
We need to see what's on the inside.
Right.
And so anyway, I just didn't.
Yeah, it's not where we get our worth from.
That's
It
right.
is not. And so, so that was funny to me. The charm is, but a woman who fears the Lord will be praised.
Yep.
And the fear comes within, right? And it's not afraid. It's different than afraid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they used, I don't know what the Hebrew feared and afraid would show. I'm not sure what the difference is in the word, but we know what the difference. Afraid is that you're fearful. You're not fearful, but afraid is, it's a scary thing.
Yeah.
Fearful is a respectful. I was fearful of my dad. How about you?
Right.
Yeah. Well,
I had a
Reverential, like
healthy-
you said earlier.
Yeah.
I had a healthy
Reverential.
respect for my dad.
Yeah.
Because I knew that he was the boss.
The
Yes.
authority.
He
Yeah.
was
You knew
the
the
authority
authority,
in our
yeah.
home. And you never wanted mom to wait for dad to get home, or
No.
if I ever did something wrong, it was harder for me to face my dad than my
Yeah.
mom.
Yeah.
Or even if I got something exciting to do, I wanted to tell my dad about it. You
Yeah.
know? So, fearing the Lord is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the fear of the Lord is the beginning of all wisdom, like we see in
Yep.
Proverbs chapter 1.
Yep.
I saw the verse earlier.
Yeah,
It's
I
one
think
of
it
those
was 8
verses.
or something.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So now we're coming to the end of our little
Last one. Yeah.
last one. Somebody read that. Last one.
I have give her of the fruit of her hands and let her own works praise her in the gates.
Yes.
So that's kind of like reaping and sowing, don't
It
you
is.
think? Or sowing and reaping.
Sowing and reaping.
So, yes, I always say that backwards.
and letting others praise you.
Yes.
Give you
And
accolades.
God honors you too. The verse escapes me right now. Humble yourself before the mighty hand of God, that He may exalt you in due time.
Yes.
Yes.
Good job.
Yeah. So
we're making sure that we are pleasing God, not man.
Exactly.
And if so happen we get accolades from man, wonderful and amazing. But
I always like to honor the ladies in our group when they've done something well, or they've succeeded, or they made it through an event.
Oh yeah.
And, I recently, did that with someone, and they were like, "No, I don't need anything. I do it for the Lord." Absolutely, you did it for the Lord. Yeah. But I want to make sure here on earth you understand the value of your of what you've done, your contribution, how you have, other women see you and see what you've done and can follow, in your footsteps, but also recognize how to proceed in there, because that's what we're all doing. We're mentoring, and that's really what that is mentoring.
And sometimes I think we need to be humble and gracious to accept that recognition.
Yeah. Sometimes it's very hard.
It is. It is.
I know.
But sometimes we have to do that for the giver, not being the receiver. Yeah. But sometimes the giver needs to do that, and we need to allow the giver that opportunity.
Because sometimes doesn't that help you feel good because they felt good?
Yes. Yes.
And I know that's kind of weird, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like don't undermine my blessing to you.
That's
it's
right.
like okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I did have a few phrases that kind of we see throughout Proverbs and then reiterated here in the Proverbs 31 woman. So it's we see it all throughout, and then it's wrapped up in the end. So we see wisdom, we see a diligent work ethic, we see wise business practices, we see honorable speech, compassion for the poor, and integrity. And another thing I think is worth mentioning is that our virtue should be consistent and not flighty. It shouldn't be related to our circumstances, but
That's good.
we should always be walking in integrity and, not just wishy-washy and with the ebb and flow of life, because life will ebb and flow.
Yes. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, I think we've taken these verses and made this not as scary.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I think when people think about it as Proverbs
It's
31
intimidating.
woman, it is because they think, I have to be all these things today and
every day.
And every day. And I think just like our faith grows. What's the right word? We talk about sanctification, and that is one of those things. We get justification from Christ, who died for us. And when we accept Him, He justifies us and makes us righteous.
Yes.
Right?
And it's an ongoing process.
And it's a process. And, I mean, look at our own lives. If I look at myself when I fully surrendered 36, 37 years ago, and I think about, I was so excited. I had to ask the preacher, where do I start to learn about God?
Right.
Where do I start to learn? And I'm like, Revelations, and he's like, no, don't go there.
That would be.
And so now I go back and I think, okay, I would tell someone, go to John, maybe. Maybe we just got through with Colossians. Go to Colossians, and read about how someone should be.
Yeah.
But I didn't know that back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the same thing with the Proverbs 31 woman. I think we could probably pick out some words like you just did, try not to be idle. Look over your household, take care of your household, make your husband be honorable in front of people, let people look well upon him.
I had a mentor in my life years ago. She always said, make your home your sanctuary. Make your home a place where your husband wants to come home. Wants to come home, and it's clean and it's comfortable, and you're not nagging at him the second he walks in the door. And
don't throw your to-do
list at him. Right.
Yeah.
So but I think that comes with maturity. The more we grow and when we mature, we learn these things as we go, sometimes the hard way. And honestly, by watching others. When I see a woman who's mature in the faith and how she treats her husband or how she is diligent in the tasks that she's been given to be reliable and to be trustworthy. So, and it's like, oh, I want to be like that. You know? I want to be like that.
Because I think we could probably come up with a list of, half a dozen or a dozen words that could describe how a woman grows in Christ. You know, this is an example of someone that has grown with God, right?
Yes.
Right. And when God shows himself faithful to you, it's grace by grace, step by step. We learn as we go. You don't get it all in one dose.
And I, just the other day I told some of the younger ladies, we were talking about, where she needed to be for Bible study, et cetera, and I said, you need to be with us. It may be a new experience for you, but guess what? I wish I had women that walked beside me at your age, and my life would have been a whole lot different than, because that was a period of my time that I wasn't walking with him. And it was a catastrophe, you know. I mean, there were good points, good places, good times, but there were times when I made decisions that were so away from God. That, So anyway, I think she gives us some great examples, and we can walk we can walk with her and use Christ as our example and her as a guide, maybe, and fear the Lord.
Yes.
With respect and understanding.
Above
Wisdom.
all, that's definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of our marching orders, right?
Yeah.
Very good.
I mean, we fear the Lord. How do we fear the Lord? We read about him. We read his word. I mean, all of those aspects of this woman can be found in other parts of the Bible.
Yes.
With Ephesians, with Galatians, with the fruit of the Spirit.
Yes. The armor.
Yes, the armor. Just study his word and do your best to obey and allow yourself to be led by God.
Yes.
Not
feelings.
Don't
be led by feelings and emotions. We as women do that.
Yeah.
It's okay to feel your feelings, but don't be controlled by them.
That's right.
Yes.
Because, I mean, Jesus cried.
Yes.
We see that he had human emotions, but he never let them control him.
Right.
Because he knew that the fear of the Lord was the most important thing.
Yep.
Very good.
Exactly.
Cool.
So I think she's a wrap, don't you think?
We
can wrap her up
Proverbs
in a pretty bow.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I don't know what's up for next time, but we will be back.
We will.
Well, thank you for having me today.
Yeah.
It was enjoyable.
Thank you for joining us.
Well, we're going to have you some
it.
more. I hope. I hope you've enjoyed this and you'll come back some more, because we would really like to have 3 or 4 of us, together rather than just Jen and I. And then, of course, you heard her say she's pregnant. So this little baby is going to be coming in the next couple months or 6 weeks or 10 weeks or something like that. 10 weeks, I think they said.
10 weeks,
10 weeks. And so we'll be excited for her to be able to enjoy her time with her baby. So we'll have to get a couple more to come on. So, but we're going to continue to do our podcast, and we're excited about this particular one, and glad that God laid it on our heart to bring it to you.
And something just honestly laid on my heart was that, hey, if you are listening to this, or remember that, like, it's great, you can listen to us talk all the time you want, but make sure you're finding a community that you can go into of women to support you.
Yes.
Just an encouragement and to keep you in check, like, hey,
you need you need a, what do you call them? I said posse. I was going to say posse, but you need a an accountability
Accountability
partner.
group,
You
whatever
need,
that looks
women
like.
that love you and support you.
I was going to say, I've moved a lot over the years, and I always knew I needed to get right into a church because that is where I was going to stay grounded.
Yeah.
And I'm so thankful for women's ministries across all of the churches that I've been involved in over the years. And I'm thankful for the leadership of the women and Miss Alicia here. So very thankful.
That's my heart, is that every church have a women's ministry, no matter how big or small it turns out to be, because we need each other.
That's right.
We need each other.
Yeah.
So with all that said, I guess we better
skedaddle.
Let's get out of here. All right, we'll see you later.
Bye all.
Bye-bye.